Alright everybody, welcome back. Now we're going to continue coding our graphical interface program here. I got my mug of coffee and I'm ready to roll. So we have, up to this point, coded everything by hand. Well, the majority of this has been coded by hand. And we're still here on the form1.designer.cs code file. And just to kind of recap, if we run our program, we will see that we have, as soon as it wants to execute, we see that we have a simple Windows dialog box that just comes up with a title that says Hello World and a little text label that says Hello World. And that's a pretty decent start. And what we're going to do in this video is we're going to continue a little bit. We're going to just change a little bit of the attributes of what we have, and we're going to add a button, and then we're going to come back in a later video and then we're going to add some functionality to this program. So if we scroll down here, we're still right here on the initialize component function in the form1.cs line 31. We have the form1, we have the hello world label, and we're going to add another one right here. So just to kind of make sure that you understand really what's going on here, is this is really the whole class concept. How we kind of, before we declare a class, then we'd access the attributes of the class by using the periods. Well, we can see that in this instance we are accessing the this class, which is the form. So basically, since this initialized component is part of the form, by saying this, I'm saying form1 dot the auto scale dimensions equals a new instance of blah 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 blah. So we could see how we're using the class libraries to construct all of these attributes of this Windows dialog box. Let's come up here to the where we declared the label Hello World, and we're going to drop one line below it, and we're going to use this class, which is the form. I'm sorry, that forget I said anything. This is going to be a private, and it's going to be system.windows.forms.button, and we'll just call this button underscore click. Awesome. And just to kind of segment this so that we know that the declaration is separate from initializing them, there we go. So add this line of code to your program, and let's make it show. So if we come down here below hello world label, right above the add to form, let's create another comment, and we're just going to call this button click. So this is the code that's going to make the button happen. So we'll do this dot button underscore click dot location, and in the beginning here we'll just kind of set it somewhere. New system dot drawing dot point, and we'll just make, I don't know, over 50 by down 50. This dot button underscore click dot name equals, and we'll just call this button underscore name. And if you guys don't mind, here under hello world, you know how we called it up here, we declared it as label underscore hello world? Let's copy this, and under the hello world label we'll change that to label underscore hello world. So make sure you make that change. Okay, so here we go. This dot button underscore click dot size equals, and we'll just kind of do new system dot drawing dot size, and we'll just make it 75 wide by 25 deep. This, actually, yes, this dot button underscore click dot text equals, and this is going to be the text that's displayed on it. Click here. And as you recall from the the previous video, we have to add the control to the dialog by doing this dot controls. Whoops, I'm sorry. Dot add, and then inside the function, this dot button underscore click. So let's do a Control F5. Let's see what this does. Let's see here. The program has crashed. Let's try to figure out why. Alright, so we have a problem here with line 55. Let's find it. That is the drawing point. Let's make this 10 by 10, see what happens. Control F5. No, it crashed again. Oh, okay. Ahaha, stupid me. Sorry about that. We forgot one important command. Remember how in the Hello World label we have this line? I completely forgot to do that line. So it'll be this dot button underscore click equals a new system dot windows dot forms dot button. Now Control F5. Aha, perfect. We have to let's move this a little bit. Now when I was doing my little initial debugging, I thought for whatever reason I changed this to 10 by 10 because I thought that for some reason the button was being placed off the form and that was the cause of the error, but it was because I never actually told the program to make an instance of the button. I said make some space for the button, here's the attributes of the button, and add the button. But when I went to add the button, the computer was like, you never actually told me to make a button exist. You just told me that if there was a button, make it do this. So, sorry about that. Cool, so I have a little button that says click here. And if you notice, when you click on it, absolutely nothing happens, but that's perfectly alright. So before we quit this video, we're going to change a couple of these settings around, and we're going to scroll up here to the forum 1, and I'm going to come over here to the size of the forum, and I'm going to change this to 300 by 100. Control F5. See, now we can see how our forum's a little bit smaller, a little bit more compact. Gotta get rid of that. And from here, I'm going to change the text on the top of it to say, so it's going to be the this.text in the forum 1 section, wibbit.net tutorial. So if I do a Control F5, now it says wibbit.net tutorial here, and the rest of it's still the same. Come on down to the Hello World label, and we're going to move this a little bit. We're going to roughly put it in the center. And so we're going to come over here to point, and we're going to go, let's try maybe 48. Let's see if it's going to be, no, 48 is not even close. Let's try 100. Still not quite there. Let's try 125. Do Control F5. That's roughly in the center. I know it's not exactly in the center, but that's close enough. And let's move the button a little bit. So we have the size of the button. Now let's take the button, the drawing point. Let's try like 110, and let's try to go down 75. Control F5. See where that puts it. That puts it roughly in the actually that looks more centered than Hello World. Cool. So let's kind of move Hello World a little bit to the left. Since I'm a little bit of a anal retentive jackass, a little bit more to the left. So we'll do maybe 105. That might be too much. No. What have I done? That was the wrong one. So this will go back up to the Hello World label. We'll do 115 maybe. And that is... Alright. Sorry. 117. Oh, looks so much better. Okay, so now we have the wibbit.net tutorial as the label. Hello World is roughly centered, and we have a new button that says click here. That's roughly centered. Alright, I'm going to close this, file, save all. Make sure you save it, code it up to this point, and we'll come back and continue in the next video.